Good morning, everybody. It's early in the morning here on November 3rd, 2020. It's election day. I've already cast my ballot. I did it about 2 weeks ago. Let's take a look at this story, though, from the Honolulu Star Advertiser, my local newspaper. Hawaii officials ask for aloha. They're asking for peace as results of the U.S. presidential election come in. And here you see people standing in line to vote in front of what I believe is Kapolei Hali, the Kapolei Satellite City Hall. And let's take a look at the next picture. It also has a drop box where you didn't have to mail in your voting ballot. You could have dropped it off in one of these drop boxes. Now, I do believe Hawaii is going to be extremely peaceful. Well, all people in Hawaii, they're going to vote for overwhelmingly for Biden. I'm going to predict that at least 75% of the voters are going to vote for Biden. Hawaii can afford to be lenient of this prodigal son that voted against the norm. Hawaii has been free of all this violence that has affected the left coast and part of the east coast. And I don't expect any violence to erupt now. Who's ever elected president after today, Hawaii will accept the results. Let's get back, though, to the curious thing about voting here in Hawaii, though. You see, like I said, Hawaii went to mail-in voting. So I did what most people in Hawaii did. They filled out their ballot and they mailed it in. But there were two other options. Instead of mailing it in, you could have put it in one of these yellow containers spread throughout the island, or there were two places you could have voted in person. Only two places, though. Let's take a look at those two places and why I didn't choose that option. This is the island of Oahu. Now, you see all those little envelopes? Those envelopes indicate drop boxes where if you didn't want to mail in your ballot, you could have dropped them off at one of these locations. And what look like tiny Parthenons, those two Parthenon type structures, those are your voting service centers. One is Honolulu Hali, the other is Kapolei Hali. And that blue dot right there, that's where I live. Now, I would have chosen, if I wanted to vote in person, Kapolei Hali, not only because it's closer, but it's probably one hell of a lot less crowded than Honolulu Hali. But both those locations are going to be desperately crowded, and here's why. Prior to this election, I had a local polling station right where that little blue dot is. Every single neighborhood had a polling location they could go to. Now, since Hawaii has gone to mail-in voting, there are only two places on this entire island you can go to vote in person. Not that difficult, you say? Look at it this way. Hawaii has a population of 1.4 million. Honolulu has 2/3 of the entire state's population. We have 900,000 people. There are only two places you can go to vote in person on all of Oahu. I think I'll just trust the mail.